What's happening, everyone, and welcome to CFC Fan TV. I'm going to start this video without an introduction. I'm actually going to start this with an apology. Firstly, I apologise to you, the viewer, and actually I'm apologising here to Sophie because she's going to be livid. She said nothing in our flat, or my flat, and we're in my flat. But it's not our fault. It's Sammy's fault. Sammy's busy today. He won't meet us. We've tried. It's Sammy's fault. That is why we're filming like this.
Hey, don't say sorry to Sophie. If she wasn't going to Dubai and Vegas every other week, we'd be fine.
That is very true. But, so, I tried. The problem here is not me, it's not him. The problem here is Sammy. He's turned into a diva. So yeah, blame him.
Never let it be said Rory's not happy to throw someone under the bus.
I'm just being honest, Charlotte. I'm just being honest. But we're in good spirits. Apart from Sammy letting us down, everything's going quite well. Since
we lost against Man United in the Cup, every game has been brilliant. You know, I think we've become a lot more nuanced in our tactics, and I think Antonio Rudiger came out and said that the players have been talking to SARRI, and they've become a lot more defensive. They're trying to find the middle ground between the defensive football, which was getting criticised, and the kind of all-out attack that saw us, you know, pushing the ball the whole time. That saw us get battered by Man City. Rudiger talked about having a golden middle. Right. And I think we seem to have found it. I thought we certainly found it against Tottenham. The Europa League game, obviously, it wasn't the best opposition, and Fulham as well.
Again though, it's terrible opposition, isn't it?
It is terrible opposition, but you know, you can only beat what's in front of you. And I think everyone got very excited when we beat Huddersfield 5-0, and you think, hang on, they're
exactly
6 points behind Fulham, and Fulham, as we saw on Sunday, Fulham were rubbish. But
see, I think that these results, I'm trying to be positive about it, and. But I do think that it's papering over the cracks. You've got to think that's our first win away from home this year.
It was our first goal.
It's March.
It was our first away goal in 2019. We were the 91st team out of 92 to score an away goal.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. And then also you look at the opposition. So you say since Manchester United we've been great.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but we've played. You know, we've played Malmo.
Yeah.
We've played Fulham. These aren't good teams. But look, let's try and find the positive.
Yeah. No.
The real test is going to come. Everton away is going to be tricky.
Yeah. That's a big game coming up.
But,
I mean, Wolves at home. Wolves at home is not an easy game.
No,
that's on Sunday.
They've already beaten us this season, haven't they?
Oh, God, yeah. I was up there and I was getting a lift back from our mate Kieran Farrow, and when they scored, he decided to go. So I was stuck up in Wolves. I had to stay with my dad.
Did you?
Yeah, I had to get a 5:53 train back to London, so I was in work for 7.
Ah, grim.
That was
so grim.
I was not happy that day.
No, that's awful. But the good thing now about the way that the league table has fallen and other results, you know, the Tottenham Arsenal game in particular, the top 4 pursuit is now completely within our hands.
It is, and that's a situation which I didn't see a few months ago. Well, no, sorry, a few weeks ago. You know, when I was in Manchester watching us getting beat by City, I wouldn't have bet a penny that we were going to finish top 4. And like you say, got this game in hand against Brighton, and it is in our hands. I'm not so sure that with some of the games we've got towards the latter end of the season, I'm not sure we're quite going to do it. We've got some big games against Liverpool, Man United, Everton, as you say, is going to be tough. But, you know, we've worked ourselves into a position now, I think thanks to our start of the season and the last couple of results, that that it is in our hands.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to do it?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I think we can.
Of course.
I think we can, but I think that, you know, these results that we've had lately, they're not insignificant, but they don't tell the full story.
No, I think that's fair enough.
And, you know, Fulham are atrocious. Fulham are atrocious, but they actually look quite good against us. The man of the match was our keeper.
Yeah.
Against Fulham.
Yeah.
You know, we were hanging on. That's not how it should be.
I mean, the end of the second half, I mean, Sessegnon's goal was only just offside.
But look,
there was margins.
I remember. I know it's under a different manager and a different time of the season or whatever, but I remember watching Arsenal. I just had it on at home. I remember watching Arsenal play against Fulham at Craven Cottage. Aaron Ramsey scored a back heel. They were literally scoring.
We had Southampton that day, yeah.
Right, they were literally scoring every time they attacked. They were just constantly on the attack.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I realised how poor Fulham were.
Yeah.
You know, Fulham were atrocious. Fulham are atrocious, but they actually look quite good against us. The man of the match was our keeper.
Yeah.
Against Fulham.
Yeah.
You know, we were hanging on. That's not how it should be.
I mean, the end of the second half. I mean, Sessegnon's goal was only just offside.
But look,
there was margins.
I remember. I know it's under a different manager and a different time of the season or whatever. But I remember watching Arsenal. I just had it on at home. I remember watching Arsenal play against Fulham at Craven Cottage. Aaron Ramsey scored a back heel. They were literally scoring.
We had Southampton that day. Yeah.
Right, they were literally scoring every time they attacked. They were just constantly on the attack.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I realised how poor Fulham were.
Yeah, they're terrible.
The fact that I know it's a new manager and a different time and everything, but the fact that our keeper was man of the match that day and we won the game 2-1, I don't think it's quite the ceremony that people seem to be giving it.
No, I think that's true, and I think that was very true when we beat Huddersfield as well. The Tottenham result was obviously a great result, and I think Wolves at the weekend, obviously we've got Dynamo Kiev first. I think Wolves at the weekend is going to be a much...
And Arsenal are playing Manchester United.
Yes, exactly, which is in some weird way is almost a bigger game for us than Chelsea Wolves, because you know if they get a draw and we win, you know a draw in that game on that Sunday in the Arsenal Man United game would be a fantastic result.
It's exactly what we need, and I think the other thing is that could be really beneficial to us. It's Tottenham's play. They're bordering. If it was any other club, people would be talking about crisis.
Yeah,
it's a point, and bearing in mind Arsenal missed a last-minute penalty. It's a point in their last 3 games, including a defeat to Burnley, including a defeat to Chelsea,
and 1 point against Arsenal,
that perhaps they were very lucky to secure.
I mean, Arsenal now work themselves into a position where they're only a couple of points behind Tottenham, and that was looking a ludicrous proposition.
But it's also weird, isn't it? Because I remember when Solskjaer took over at Manchester United, we were about 13 points ahead of them, something ridiculous, weren't we?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been. I feel like there's been a fair few twists and turns, but I think there's going to be a fair few more.
Yeah, I mean,
but we are in the driving seat.
We're in the driving seat now, absolutely. I mean, it was a fantastically kind of interesting weekend of results throughout the top 6. I mean, obviously Liverpool are now no longer in the driving seat for the Premier League title, which is wonderful news.
Yeah, I know. Well, also they're another club that seem to be. Crisis is extreme, but. They're certainly flagging at a crucial stage of the season.
I think with both Tottenham and Liverpool, you can see because both teams haven't won anything in ages, and it's so that's a big bugbear around Tottenham's neck. Oh, Harry Kane's brilliant, Dele Alli's brilliant,
as well.
Pochettino's brilliant. Yeah, but what have you won? And that's kind of the criticism gets levied at them. And Liverpool, they've not won the league title since I was 6 months old.
Never a Premier League.
And I just think every time they get close to that, you can see those cracks starting to show.
Yeah.
And I think with Liverpool you can see it, and I think Klopp coming out and blaming the wind and the grass and the weather and the bull boys and whatever. It's such a bad look. But I was very happy to see it.
Yeah, it's a really interesting season now because there's all so much going on. I think that we're in with a really good shout. Like as positive as it's looked for a long time for top 4.
Yeah.
The Europa League is back on this week. We're playing Dynamo Kiev. The draw's quite kind to us. We should be beating them.
Yeah.
And if we end this season top 4 and potentially
winning the Europa League. I mean, I would have signed up for that at the start of the season. Certainly.
Oh my God! You certainly signed up for it when we were being beaten 4-0 away at Bournemouth.
Oh God, yeah. So I wouldn't have not signed up for much then, but. I think we've just seen a bit of a shift in the last couple of weeks. When we got hammered by Bournemouth and Man City, I think Sarri and the players, from what they've said anyway, seem to have had a bit of a set to about the way they want to go forward. And I think the players have kind of taken on that mantle, and a lot of them are playing a lot better individually than they were. We saw some horrific performances from the likes of Jorginho, Kovacic, Willian, Alonso, David Luiz, and everyone has kind of stepped up a little bit. I thought, Jorginho was great against Tottenham. Jorginho obviously had a fantastic goal against Fulham.
And Jorginho's conversation around being booed at Stamford Bridge,
of course,
but I thought he dealt with that really well.
He did.
He said the fans have a right to do that. Perhaps my performances haven't been what they should be.
Yeah.
Now let's crack on.
Exactly.
It's a great attitude.
Yeah, exactly. And I think people like Rudiger coming out and saying, they're not stupid. A lot of those players have won everything there is to win in the game. they know they're getting beat by Bournemouth, getting beat by Man City is not acceptable. And both, like, to give everyone their credit, both Sarri and the players have kind of, I think we're seeing a little bit of a new Chelsea in terms of just the way we approach games, which is something that really, really pleases me.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, I think there's room for optimism.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. I think that we'll caveat all this optimism within the period that we're talking about, as well as it being very impressive. We've also lost a cup final.
Yeah.
And beaten one of the worst Premier League teams there's been for a long time in Fulham.
They're
So,
awful, yeah.
so you know, let's see how it goes. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do it right now.